Humanitarian aid and disaster risk management are key areas of support for the European Union. Can you give me an overview of the need for this support for the Caribbean?
Well, Caribbean is extremely vulnerable. The size of the countries, the fact that some of the countries are very flat, the changing weather conditions, the increased intensity of climate events, all of that expose Caribbean every single year to tremendous risks. Everybody knows hurricanes come every year, but they're getting stronger. And I think we had a perfect example of it this year. The earliest ever hurricane of Category 5 hit the region and caused tremendous devastation. Many people lost their homes, their livelihoods, and nothing suggests that we are dealing with climate change sufficiently to hope that these events will become less frequent or less intense. And this is just hurricanes, but then we have floods. This year was, in my 9 years in the region, probably the hottest and the wettest. We've had droughts, we've had landslides, we had floods, we had eruption of a volcano, not to mention the pandemic. So the vulnerability is tremendous. And one such event can set the economy back, if not wipe it out. So not only loss of life, not only loss of livelihoods, loss of homes, suspension of life, education, for example, could not continue as it should have and as easily in the islands that were affected by Hurricane Beryl this year. Not to mention what happened in Cuba, 2 hurricanes, 2 earthquakes, and so on. So that vulnerability exposes people in ways that we as partners have an obligation to try and address. Of course, we're not the only partners, and with fantastic agency like CDEMA, it makes our job easier, but we have a responsibility as partners to prioritize that vulnerability and the lives of the people.
Can you tell me about the relationship that the EU has had with CDEMA over the years and why it was important to implement this program?
Well, this is a long-standing relationship that started even with the predecessor agency that was dealing with disaster response and started back in 1991. So we have a long history together, and we were very supportive of the change of scope so that it's disaster preparedness, disaster management, as well as response. And we are committed to this partnership. We're very impressed and very supportive of the efficiency of the agency. It enjoys the trust across the region, and it enjoys the trust of the partners. We saw how crucial CDEMA was this year during coordination of response and sharing of information. We completely committed to it, because otherwise when anything happens, everybody runs around, people duplicate efforts, and it's not particularly efficient. And with limited resources, it is very important that people are well informed way before the disaster strikes, prepared as well as they can, but then that also they continue to be informed and that the response is also coordinated. And that is why CDEMA is extremely important. I'm very happy that we're supporting the agency and hope that will continue for many years to come.
As we look to the future for CDM in the region, what are the EU's priority areas for support to enable states as they seek to build resilience, especially in the face of climate change?
Well, we hope to be able to attract more private sector engagement, because no public funds alone can address all the challenges. So it isn't just about the response, it's about preparedness, is about building resilience and then response and rebuilding. We need private sector. We need private sector investments from Europe. We will do our best. Traditionally, the region with so many small islands is not the easiest one to attract investments from so far, but it will not stop us. We have to have more resilient infrastructure and help as much as possible, but also transfer of technology. As I said, Copernicus is already available available for free, not only on disaster risk management, but also to agricultural sector for food security and so on. But there will be hubs set up. This is already in preparation, one in Panama and one in Chile, and the one in Panama will make the imagery even more accessible. But we have to make sure that people know it exists. And any other areas where Europe can cooperate more closely and better for stronger resilience and for better lives for people and safer lives for people will be there.